Artificial intelligence is changing the world faster than anyone predicted. Every day, new breakthroughs reshape entire industries: medicine, transportation, finance, art. But almost none of it would be possible without one company working quietly in the background. For 30 years, this company built technology the world didn't fully understand yet. It wasn't trying to predict the future. It was trying to build the engine that would power it. Today, its chips train the world's most powerful AI models. They sit inside supercomputers, data centers, and even the phone in your pocket's future. Its founder went from an unknown engineer to one of the most influential figures in technology. This is the story of NVIDIA, the company quietly powering the AI revolution. In 1993, three engineers sat in a Denny's restaurant in San Jose, California. They had no offices, no products, and barely any funding. What they had was a bet that computers would soon need to render entire worlds in 3 dimensions, and that no one had yet built the chip capable of doing it. The world at the time was obsessed with the CPU, the central processor that ran every calculation in a computer. But CPUs were built for general tasks. They weren't designed for the millions of parallel calculations needed to draw a single realistic image, frame after frame, in real time. This tiny startup believed the future belonged to a different kind of processor altogether, one built specifically for graphics. They called it a GPU, a graphics processing unit. Nobody knew it yet, but this idea would eventually reshape the entire technology industry. Through the late 1990s and 2000s, NVIDIA fought its way into a brutal, fast-moving industry. Dozens of competitors tried to build the graphics chip that would define the future of computing. Most of them failed or were bought out. NVIDIA survived, and then it thrived. Its GPUs became the beating heart of the gaming industry. Every explosion, every rendered landscape, every lifelike character on screen ran through silicon this company designed. Millions of gamers around the world bought its graphics cards, funding a research and development engine most of them never thought twice about. What almost no one realized at the time was this: the same chip built to render a video game world was, mathematically, almost perfectly suited to something entirely different: training artificial intelligence. In the late 2000s, while the rest of the tech world remained focused on gaming, NVIDIA made a decision that would quietly define the next several decades. Researchers had discovered that GPUs, designed to process millions of pixels simultaneously, were extraordinarily good at another kind of math: the massive parallel calculations required to train neural networks. NVIDIA leaned into this discovery years before artificial intelligence became a mainstream topic. It built software platforms that allowed scientists and researchers to use its gaming chips for AI research. It invested heavily in a technology most of the business world still considered a science fiction curiosity. This was, in hindsight, one of the most consequential bets in modern corporate history. While competitors focused on the present, NVIDIA was quietly building the infrastructure for a future nobody else could clearly see yet. Then came the moment the entire world had been unknowingly building toward. Artificial intelligence models capable of writing, reasoning, and creating burst into the public consciousness. Chatbots, image generators, and AI assistants exploded in popularity almost overnight. Every one of these breakthroughs needed one thing above all else: massive computing power to train and run these models, and there was only one company whose chips could do it at the scale the world suddenly demanded. Virtually overnight, NVIDIA transformed from a gaming hardware company into the backbone of the global AI economy. Tech giants, governments, and startups alike scrambled to secure its chips. Waiting lists stretched for months. Entire data centers were built around a single goal, acquiring as much of this company's computing power as possible. The company that once powered video games was now powering the infrastructure of intelligence itself. As demand for its chips surged, NVIDIA's value exploded alongside it. What had once been a mid-sized hardware company became one of the most valuable corporations on Earth, standing alongside the giants of global technology. Its stock chart became one of the most talked about in financial history, a steep, almost vertical climb that reflected just how central this company had become to the future of computing. Investors who once saw it as a niche gaming business now viewed it as essential infrastructure for the entire global economy, as fundamental as electricity or the internet itself. Behind this transformation stood its co-founder and CEO, a leather jacket-wearing engineer who had spent 3 decades building toward this exact moment. What once seemed like a stubborn long-shot bet on an unproven technology had become one of the most valuable strategic decisions in business history. But NVIDIA isn't stopping at artificial intelligence chatbots and data centers. Its technology now reaches into robotics, autonomous vehicles, healthcare research, and digital simulation of entire physical environments. Self-driving cars use its systems to interpret the world in real time. Robots are trained in simulated environments powered by its platforms before ever taking a single step in the real world. The company's ambitions have expanded far beyond graphics or even artificial intelligence as most people understand it today. Its vision now stretches toward a future where physical and digital worlds merge, where machines don't just calculate, but perceive, learn, and act. The story of artificial intelligence is still being written, but one chapter is already clear. This revolution was not built by chance. It was built quietly and deliberately by a company willing to bet on a future nobody else could see. From a diner booth in San Jose to the center of the global economy, NVIDIA's story is a reminder that the biggest opportunities in history often belong to those willing to think decades ahead of everyone else. Money isn't everything, but understanding it changes everything. Welcome to Money Unlocked.